What is good, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'll be giving you guys my settings video for Black Ops 6. Of course, the game is coming to an end. It's the end of the season, but you still need the good settings if you're still playing ranked or if you're gonna be grinding because everyone's excited for EWC and stuff. But let's start off with some of my equipment. So of course, I play on PC. With the COD League, they send you PCs, the league does, so every player's playing on the same one, and I think it has like a 3070 in it and all the specs are capped. But with this one, now that I'm retired, I was able to get a 5080 and really ramp up my PC and make it better. And now I played a game and I had 250 FPS in the game. I feel like my highest before that I ever got was like maybe 160, 170. So the fact that I'm getting 250 now, it feels insane. And then of course I have this monitor right here. It goes up to 280 Hertz, which is great for multiplayer, for Warzone. And it's just very important to get as many FPS as you can. And last but not least, the money maker, the SCUF gaming controller. I've been using the SCUF controller since Black Ops 2, even before I was sponsored, but now I've been sponsored for quite a while. I have the SCUF concave sticks, digital tap bumpers and triggers, 2 paddles in the back, one for the left when I'm jump shotting, and then this is for beating down because I'm on tactical. And yeah, so you could use code attach on SCUF if you want to do that, but that's all my, wait, I almost forgot. GoXLR, my audio. I swear, GoXLR is like built-in sound EQ. You can hear everything on the GoXLR. The audio and the quality is so crisp. So I love using the GoXLR. But yeah, let's get into the actual settings on the game now. And now we're in the display settings. You always want to make sure you are on full screen exclusive, because if you do tab out a lot, it will switch to borderless and that will not let you get as many frames as possible. It would mess up with your refresh rate. So if you do tab out, make sure you always check to make sure exclusive is on, especially before the game's starting. For display for monitor and adapter, you want to make sure you just have, of course, your monitor and your GPU. For your screen refresh rate, depending on what your computer and your monitor can go up to, of course, you always want to try to do the highest to just get as many frames as possible, because it makes a big difference in game. 1920 by 1080 resolution, on plus boost for the NVIDIA Reflex low latency. We're going to go to the quality right here. You're going to make sure you want render resolution on 100. Your dynamic resolution is off. And of the pretty much the most important graphic setting is the upscaling sharpening. Make sure you have it on Fidelity FX Cast and then show more. Put this to 100. If you do not put it to 100, your game will look it will look like Roblox and Minecraft. So you want to make sure you have that. NVIDIA DLSS frame generation off. This one off as well. The VRAM scale target 85. Variable rate shading on. Texture resolution, we have low, but then we have texture filter and anisotropic high, to just see the quality of the surface. Make sure you have depth of field off, because if you do have it on, when you aim in, everything around you will get a little bit blurry, and that can just hurt you when you have to see other characters running around or maneuver around the map. Detail quality is low. Particle resolution very low. Bullet impacts will have on, just to make sure you can see where your bullets are going, so you know exactly where you're shooting. It's a good way to test out your dead zone inputs, but we'll get to that later. Persistent effects off. Shader quality low. On-demand texture streaming minimal. Low for local streaming texture quality. Very low for the bottom right here, and then you guys can just see how the shadow quality very low. Off, low, off, low, off to end it out. And then we're gonna go to view. These first two are off. Your field of view, this is all personal preference. With field of view, it can look like 60 if you want to be super zoomed in, or 120, and it makes you look like a montage when you're running around. Everything's moving so fast, like you're the Flash. So it's all personal preference, but I would say most professional players play on 95 to 105. That's like the zone, but I feel like 97 to 100 is like really the sweet spot. And then we have affected as well. Affected, when you aim in, your whole screen doesn't aim in, but when you're on independent and you aim in, it aims in further. So it is really good for games where you're in a lot of long range gunfights, but I think most professional players run affected now. Not very many run independent anymore. So that's kind of the meta, because especially with how fast this game is, how much you're running around, you don't want to be too aimed in, because all the fights are happening so up close. You're very rarely in super long range gunfights, unless you're an AR player and an SND on protocol in the top windows of grandmas or ammo. For weapon field of view, I have wide, because it makes your gun look smaller. So if your gun's smaller, you can see more on your screen instead of having it on default, because it's just a little bit bigger. It might not make the most difference, but it potentially could. So just why not give yourself the best chances? Of course, you need to have world motion blur and weapon motion blur off, because when you're turning and moving, it's just going to look like you've had one too many drinks that night. And then you're going to have at least 50% for both of the camera movements. And inverted flashbang, if you want to, when you get stunned or flashed, have your screen turn white, you keep this off. If you turn it on, your screen will go black when you do get flashbang and stuff. So that's all personal preference. And that is everything in the graphic settings. Now we are on controller, where of course this is like personal preference and what you're used to, but we're going to talk about through my settings and then what a lot of other people use. So controller, then we have tactical flipped. We have 1.55 for the horizontal and vertical. We have the swap. So the swap means I am shooting with my bumpers, my L1 and R1. And I throw my tacticals with my L2 and R2. And with tactical, you drop shot with this, what's it called? Your right analog, and then you jump shot with my back left paddle. Controller vibration, I have off. I feel like Call of Duty, I've always had it off to make sure, because I don't know, it just feels weird playing with vibration on Call of Duty. No. Reset the tab, no. We're gonna have to do this live because I reset the tab, but we have my left stick min on 0. You wanna always have the left stick on 0. Your right stick, depending on your controller that you have, if it's new, put it as low as possible. You wanna have this number close to 0 as possible, and you could test it out in game. You could shoot a wall. If it moves, up at 1. Keep doing that until it stops moving and you're getting no stick drift. For your left stick max, you're going to want to put it on, I personally got on like 80 or 85. It's just gonna make it so when you are moving your analog stick, your controller reacts faster in game. And then my left trigger and my right trigger always on 0. So, and yeah, this is what you wanna do. And make sure you guys do the test for your right stick min. Then aiming, you always wanna make sure you have instant on for multiplayer, and then dynamic. Ever since dynamic's been introduced into Call of Duty, it's always been ideal for the more advanced players. In Warzone and stuff, I heard it's like different. There's been like different metas, but dynamic has pretty much always been the meta for multiplayer Call of Duty since it's been introduced. And movement, here's the fun part. So with movement, you're gonna make sure you have sprint assist on. Then you're gonna have sprint assist delay on 0. If you do not have it on 0, there will be a little bit of delay. So you wanna make sure that is on 0. You want sprint sideways, sprint backwards, because that's like the Black Ops 6 Oni movement. How you can like still sprint, but like you're moving around. Mantle assist off. Crouch assist is also going to be off as well. Corner slice is a personal preference. So when you're in game, you're like moving, you're like looking around the corners. Your character isn't actually like doing that, but it's just what it looks like on your screen. I use slide only because I have like tactical. If you play default, it's really good to play hybrid. That's what most people do. So you're able to slide and dive, but on tactical, it's pretty much impossible to play hybrid with having to use your analog for your movement and stuff. So that's why I switched to default for a little bit to play on hybrid. Then you're gonna wanna do sprint restore on, slide maintain sprint on, mantle reload, mantle cancels reload off, because that could mess you up when you don't wanna reload, mantle and reload and all that. And then you're gonna go to your tactical sprint activation. You either want to use single tap sprint or single tap run. Single tap run is the fastest one, but single tap sprint is good as well, because when you instantly hit your sprint button or your single tap sprint analog, you will be running as fast as you can with run. If you do it with sprint, I think you have to hit it like twice to like get to the fastest, but you hit it once, you get like pretty fast. But double tap is slow, so do not use double tap. And make sure you have ground and mantle off, so you're not mantling on everything. And you also want to have this setting, automatic airborne mantle, off as well, just so you're not running around jumping on boxes and stuff, because it's very annoying when that happens and it will get you killed. Spring door bash is on, so you can just bang through a door. Combat, the only one you need to really look at in here, or actually there's 2 settings, either prioritize finishing move or prioritize body shield. So for finishing move, you have to double tap to initiate the body shield, which I'm used to doing that, but some people will use prioritize body shield, where you hold and then you take the body shields. But I'm used to just tapping it. That's how I put people in body shields, but this is like just personal preference and what you're more used to doing. And then combat advanced settings. No, this doesn't really matter. That will be it for all the controller settings. And here we have the interface settings. So there's actually quite a lot to go through right here. If you go to telemetry, FPS counter, server latency, and packet loss will be on, just so you can see your FPS, what server you're on, your ping. And then if you are losing you're getting any packet loss or anything from your internet, the game lagging, the rank play servers, whatever it may be, just to like make sure. So I have all those on. Color customization, we're gonna go here. You're gonna wanna put your enemy onto the brightest color, because if you look at these reds, you can kind of see, I think one of these two are the default one, and I think this one's slightly brighter right here. Color filter, filter 2 to make everything more vibrant, color filter to target both, and then 100 on 100 for world color intensity and interface color intensity. Then you can just mess around with this too. If you want to see yourself as a certain color, you could do that. You want to see your team. So people use different things. I've seen people have like their teammates be green, the enemy's purple. So you can just customize it to your liking, but I would recommend having the enemy on the brightest red possible, just to give you the best chance of seeing them on the minimap. Gameplay HUD, very important. You want to make sure HUD bounds are all the way in. If they are not, then your minimap's going to be like out there. So instead, you're gonna have to look all the way over there instead of just being able to see it in this corner. Those milliseconds really matter in Call of Duty. Minimap shape is going to be square. The minimap rotation is on, so when you are moving around the map, your minimap will also move as well, so you can kind of see different angles and different things. You wouldn't be able to see if it's just static. Minimap compass type. Oh, you want to have this off because it will have the compass over the minimap. It will have the compass at the top, so there's honestly no point of that. No one really uses that, and if you are using that, it doesn't usually help too much, so there's no real reason to have the compass type. You want to make sure this is the default, but make sure if it got changed or everything, you check this. You want player names to be full names, so you see the whole name. You see the clan tag, you see the name. The more red you see, the better, instead of just seeing like the dot. Crosshairs, have it on. Go to show more. Crosshair dot, have on. Crosshair spread on, and then just default. I just like to keep it with the dot on. This is personal preference because people can be, I see people making their dots huge, so it'll be really big, and then let's sometimes change the color. But I just like the default old school Call of Duty looking. Give me the dot. That's all I really need. And that is it for everything in interface. And last but not least is the audio. I use a Go XLR, so Go XLRs are very loud. That's why my master volume is on 16. And then I turn my audio mix to Sucker Punch. I believe it feels like the loudest one and the one I'm able to hear the footstep directions the best with. It might just be the combo with Go XLR and Sucker Punch. And you want to have reduce tinnitus sound on, so when you get concussion, you won't hear like the ringing. And then a very important one that one of my teammates put me on, I don't know how much this helps, but I think it cleared up things. But I was just trusting my teammates, is the frequency, configure frequency intensity. So these are the ones I was using. If you just want to copy these from the 250 hertz all the way down to the 10K, these are what I was putting on, and it seems like everything sounded a little bit clearer when I did put it on. So trusting my teammate with that one. And it's the same exact numbers for the left and right. So you could just easily copy this right here. And that's pretty much everything for audio. And voice chat, of course, it's all just push to talk. Do you want to push to talk trash? Do you want to put on open mic so you can just always be yapping? But I swear when everyone has open mic on, that's when they have like a Xbox 360 mic, those skinny little headset, and you hear everything in their background. You hear their console sounding like a lawnmower or a jet engine about to take off. Babies crying in the back, music bumping in the back, the whole family talking. But yeah, this is all customizable. And of course you want body shield chat on. So when you do take someone's body shield, you can talk a little bit of trash. And that is going to do it for all my settings on Call of Duty. And now here is the professional class setups for the Amos and the Jackal. So here we'll start with Amos. We have the Kepler Micro Reflex, Reinforced Barrel, Ergonomic Grip, Infiltrator Stock, and this is probably the most important attachment because it gives you strafe speed when you are aiming down sight. When you're aimed in, ADSing, you can just be strafing very fast. And if you're even stunned, you can still strafe a lot. And let's say someone's in a corner and you don't want to sprint at them and get caught sprinting, you're just able to just aim walk and just keep your iron up, keep your gun up, and be ready for the gunfight. That's why pretty much everyone is using Infiltrator Stock now. So this is the class setup meta for Season 4. And then recoil springs. With the new Pro GAs, the muzzle is GA'd. You're not allowed to use it in professional play. And then going on to the Jackal, we have Reinforced Barrel, Ranger foregrip, Ergonomic Grip, Infiltrator Stock again for the strafe, because especially when you are sliding and you move a lot smoother and quicker with an SMG. So when you come out of a slide and into a strafe, it looks insane. When you're jumping down, landing into a strafe, it's still very good. So it's just very good to have that extra strafe speed when you are aiming down sight. And then recoil springs. And once again, muzzle is GA'd. In rank play, I don't know if they changed it yet, but you were not allowed to use reinforce. Hopefully they fix that soon, or if you can use it now, that's good. But in rank play, you might have to just use gain twist barrel on the Jackal if that's the only thing that's allowed in rank play. But those are the professional class setups. Hope you guys enjoy. And if you are playing on PC, an important thing is going to your show more options, NVIDIA control panel. Make sure your resolution is on the highest possible. So for me, it's 280, but if you play on 240 or 144 and that's the max, make sure it's on that. And you usually have to go to PC down here instead of up here. So make sure it's PC. And then you can actually customize some stuff in here. So digital vibrance to make everything brighter, your whole computer brighter, the gameplay as well. You can put your digital vibrance to something. When I was using the old monitors for the CDL, the Omen monitors, I would put it on 70 because that monitor was very dull, but my monitor already has good color now. This Asus one I'm using. So I only put it to 55, or else when a stun hits or I open Google Chrome and it's the white page, it just is like a flashbang. So I just have it on 55, but this is all customizable. And then my G-Sync I have off. Those are the main things you need to do it. There's some other things. There's some real nerdy things people do with this stuff, but I cannot remember all these things that my teammates would do with these 3D settings. Moving on to sound EQ, here's how you turn it on. You're gonna right click this. You're gonna go to your sound settings. This will help you hear better in game. More sound settings, then you're gonna find what you use. So sample for me, then you're gonna go to properties, enhancements, loudness equalization on. You're gonna wanna apply, boom. Then sound EQ is on. So you can just hear things better in game. Listen, everyone's doing it in rank play, so you might as well join them. If you made it to the end, you are a real one. These settings will definitely up your game in Call of Duty. I always want to give you guys the best settings no matter what now that I'm retired when I'm playing. So still expect a lot of settings videos. And thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next video and the rest of the streams.